Google just broke the internet with their new Pomello update. This is Photoshoot. It allows you to be able to create an entire product marketing campaign off of a single image. In this video, we're going to be doing hands-on experience on how to use this, what it looks like, and if it's actually living up to the hype of 15+ million views on Twitter. So a lot being said, let's test it out. All right, so if you've never used Pomello before, it's at labs.google.com/Pomello. And you just click let's get started. And I already have an account, so it just kind of popped up to this, but basically it would run you to paste a link from a website that you kind of want to get started with to figure out your DNA. I used Hidden Grounds Coffee Shop. This is the coffee shop I started in 2016 and I sold in 2024. I no longer have the rights or IP to the shop as I sold it, but I just wanted to test it out with something I know best because I started this from scratch. And I'll actually show you the website that it scraped this from just so you can kind of get an idea. So this is the website that it took from, and you know, that's actually my arm right there. That's my old coffee roaster that I sold. Here's the bags and everything like that. So it grabbed from this website and it put it to this DNA, and it found the logo. It found the color schemes, which is correct if I remember correctly. I've been in content marketing or just marketing in general for a long time, so I'm very familiar with brand kits. I found the brand values, which is intentionality, community, connection, quality, creating community, you know, all the stuff. Basically, it just kind of scraped from the website. This part is really cool in my opinion, especially if you're not familiar with brand stuff. If you have somebody that is familiar, it's not that hard to figure all this out. But you know, it's cool. It gives a quick overview and it has some photos. But the next part where it really gets crazy is getting on to the photo shoot. So when you click through, right now it basically said they're experiencing high traffic. We're going to go over here. You can see to the photo shoot tab. We're going to click that on the left. And this is what you saw at the beginning of the video. And basically this is where you can create like a whole, you know, entire photo shoot off of one product. So what I'm going to do is, being as we've already uploaded our DNA, we're going to just do a single bag. We'll do this Ethiopian roast. Looks good. And we'll see where it comes up with off of that. So one of the things I like about this too is you can actually choose the dimensions off of this. So if I wanted it for a story, I would do 9:16. If I wanted it as a square for like Facebook, I would do it there, or feed. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick with story. I think that's a pretty good one. And I can choose the photo shoot template. So for this one, I don't want to do studio because this is already in studio. I want to do like ingredient based. So let's do like it's consumable. So I mean, this pretty much looks good. It fits pretty much everything. So we will have a studio one. Let's change that from studio to floating. Looks good. And create the photo shoot. Now, if you're doing things outside of, you know, outside of products, like product marketing, I mean, this main thing is for product marketing, but you saw there are several other options there for different angles. So if I own my shop right now, I would love this for social media because I would be able to create an entire, like, you know, my website, Facebook post, social media post, Amazon listings, anything on any type of dimension off of just one upload image. So this is really useful for businesses, and I'll even extend this and do the digital products in just a few minutes. If you have like a digital company, I'll show you some examples of that. But this is just like a more hands-on retail experience and kind of how, you know, strong Google is. So as you can see by my yapping, I'm showing this in real time. I'm not gonna like cut or fast forward unless we have some type of issue here, but it looks like some of these have less than a minute left. So about 3 minutes for an entire product shoot. Not too upset about that. And we can see at the bottom, we can actually like go ahead and create a campaign with this, or we can download all. So here we go. I think these look phenomenal. This is my coffee, my bags, and it put it over like coffee beans and some oranges for like flavor notes and everything. Oh no, where did it go? All right, so I'm just gonna be straightforward. That was an awful experience. I tried to click back and it ended up like backing out of everything. So hopefully we won't make that mistake again. We'll try to get a good view though. I like this one has some green coffee beans in it. And it's kind of like a floating image with coffee around it. This one actually put a person in it, like holding the bag. We'll click on this one. I'm just scared now. So, okay, here. So We can toggle down here. This is the first one, again, similar to the one we just showed. This next one has an actual person in it, like holding the coffee bag. And then this next one is just kind of, they're making a pour over, which is pretty, like they really went into that, like the V60, the pour over. That's like it's a high end pour over. So they're really incorporating like coffee culture. They're not just like putting this in a drip coffee maker or something like that. And then they did like the other floating one with like grounds around it. And this is the one that kind of has green around it and everything. And it looks like I could even like edit each of these. So like if I wanted to, let's say I want the model to be more excited about the coffee, or like let's say more expression needed. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'll show you guys what I'm doing right here. I'm gonna go ahead and change this from a 916 to a square as well. And it takes about 2 minutes for that edit to come through, and we'll take a look at it. But yeah, this is so cool. I'm going to experience with some digital products in just a little bit. So she's more excited. Wow, that was so quick. She's more excited, as you can tell, as she's smiling about it. And it's a square now instead of a 9x16. Wow, I mean, that's incredible. This is incredible. I don't know about you guys, but like I think this is absolutely incredible. So I've been working in tech for the last like 4 years, and there's a lot of tech companies that are trying to start products. One of the last companies I was working for, I still work for them, very small, is this like company called Pizza Ninjas. And essentially, like, think of something like trying to grow an IP and something like Pokemon or something, to where like each ninja here has a story and has shows and games and all that. Well, you can take this website, you can go to Pomello, and you can create this whole thing I just created, but for that brand. So we'll go back, we'll get started, and we can go to our campaigns, and we can go to the business DNA and actually change this business DNA. We'll go ahead and delete it, even though that was phenomenal. And we're going to plug in now the Pizza Ninjas DNA. So on this part, you literally just you just need the website. Paste that in there, and now we're going to wait. And we're essentially just going to do the same thing. It's going to give us kind of what this website, it's going to extract everything off the website that it needs. And then it's going to give us brand guidelines. And these are things that you would have had to pay like $10,000 for. I mean, it was a lot more detailed. I've worked for businesses where I've seen them spend over $10,000. I'm not just throwing out numbers on a very extensive brand guidelines. I'm talking like 20 pages of brand guidelines that goes all the way from like creating their own fonts to like more complex to storytelling and stuff. Now granted, that's a lot deeper than what this is. This is more so already finding the initial brand guidelines that you kind of have in place on your website. And this website specifically that I gave it is already sort of like a design white paper. I mean, as you can see, it says design white paper. So it kind of is cheating a little bit here. But my point here is, if you're working on something in tech, or you have a logo or something like that, I want to go off of just like a single image identity from after this goes. So I'll give it a few minutes and then we'll come back to it. So I got the business DNA after just a few minutes. Basically same thing. Again, working with a brand, I can tell you right now that the FF5400 is correct, that orange. And everything else is, again, just extracted from the site. I more am concerned about how the photo shoot is going to look, as that's what the primary reason for this video is. We can generate or edit an image, so we can describe an image we want, prompt our existing one, or we can create a product. So we're going to kind of do the same thing, but we're going to do it based off of like a profile picture. There's a lot of people that are anonymous now, and they kind of like to build their brands off a profile picture, so we'll do that. We'll do this, and we're going to do the feed one. And it's going to load some templates for us. I might select and edit these based on like kind of what I want to see. But let's say this is your like profile picture that you've created or that you have or whatever. You're trying to build a brand. Maybe it's yourself. I don't know. So let's see what it can do. I don't want to do fashion. It looks like it's kind of set me up for studio or home. So obviously we're making this into a product. So do we want to do a studio session now? I think what we need to do is kind of set this up as a product. Hopefully it will like cartoonify it maybe. But let's do like, which product should we do? We'll do like, maybe a little ninja on the shelf. Or maybe we'll do just, that'll be too orange on orange, but like, let's see it. There's a lot happening here, and then we'll do a studio session of it. I'll be straight up, this isn't great. I would want this to look more like a toy or an action figure, and the closest one to that is this. So I would want to go and edit this, and let's say like this is the best out of the bunch, but I want it to look more like an action figure. Think something that I would want on my desk. Let's see if it makes it better after that. The last thing I want to do here, just to complete the entire video, is let's create something from nothing using Photoshoot, as that's the last feature that it has. So again, not great. I don't love this. The coffee one was phenomenal. Though using it for your like profile picture or whatever brand identity you have online, not phenomenal in my opinion. But let's go ahead and generate something now. Let's go back and let's go to Photoshoot. No, not Photoshoot. Let's go back one more time and let's generate an image. All right, so what do we want to market? Let's I like disc golf a lot. Let's do like a disc for disc golf. And I almost started a company named Heiser Brew. The company name would be Heiser Brew. And then we're gonna do these all in squares. And so hopefully this like actually gives me like a Frisbee style from disc golf. And this would actually be awesome for disc. I should have used a disc. So yeah, so from nothing, these are the images it gave me for Heiser Brew. I like it. You know, it's pretty cool to like it literally did that from nothing. But what I would like to see now is I would like to go ahead and use this. I'd like to go back and back one more time. And now let's create a product shoot of what we just had. So let's upload an image and let's upload the image of the disc. Again, this disc is not real. It's created from nothing. I'm a big disc golfer. And what... Sure, let's just go with that. We'll go with their exact recommendations this time, and we're gonna go with square again. I feel like square makes most sense for discs because they're like wider and not as narrow for 9x16, but 9x16 would be useful for like stories and stuff. But yeah, I have like a whole lot of discs behind me. So just to get a picture of one and doing a product shoot for it, it's pretty cool. I'll probably do that later today just for fun, but not for this video. And if you, by the way, this is while we're waiting on this, if you're still watching this video, leave a like, a subscribe, share, do all the social media things. I would greatly appreciate it. I make this content to help people. I'm not doing any sponsorships right now. I'm not doing any I'm not monetized on YouTube on this channel. So this is just purely for the love of the game, but I do plan to grow this channel. And I can't do that without providing you value. And the only thing I ask in return is, you know, for you to watch, like, do all those things. All right. So again, we got this guy holding the disc, which is pretty freaking cool. We got the disc, again, somebody holding it, kind of showing it off. It looks super crazy. And then we have the disc itself. I mean, this is awesome. The last thing I want to do is, and instead of this guy holding the disc, can we have it where he is throwing it? This is probably the most ambitious prompt I have had yet. So it should be like a backhand or like a forehand like that. But I don't know. Maybe it'll have him like shooting it like a basketball or something. Okay, he's like holding it out or whatever. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you got a lot of value out of it. I will see you guys next video.